Hey!
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. What should I call you? Jacques?
Yeah,
Jacques
that's fine.
with the French pronunciation?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Jacques. Okay, like Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, that's the one. And you're Azman Karib.
Yep.
Okay, are you ready to start?
So you decided not to use StreamYard, huh?
Oh yeah, something went wrong.
Oh, okay. No worries. But
I'm
this is
Jack from Jack Review Stuff. Huh? What?
you're recording this, right, for offline purposes, right?
Yeah. Shall we start soon or?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2. I'm Jack from Jack Review Stuff, and today we have Azman Karib. He's a Sony alpha shooter. Is that right?
Well, Sony Malaysia recently this year appointed some uh, uh, photographers all over Malaysia, I think, and call them Alpha Gurus.
Oh, Alpha Guru. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll start again then. I'm Jack from Jack Review Stuff, and today I'm with Sony Alpha Guru, Azman Karib.
Thanks for the invite. And the first time we met was actually in Penang, 12th of January, actually.
Wow, you remember? Yeah, I remember January somewhere.
Before the PKP, MCO, before the world has changed, I mean,
Before the world ended, yeah.
For all of us Malaysians, I miss going out.
Yeah, me too. I haven't worn pants in a long time. It's just my shirt.
I'm fortunate that I have short hair. I mean, it's actually shorter than this. It's almost balding. But because of the 2 months, so you see, some hair, but it's
Have
still
you been
not too
cutting
bad.
yourself?
Nah.
I tried doing the sideburns. They're not even now. That's why I'm wearing my headphones, so you can't see it.
I normally shave, just my mustache and some bit of goatee here. That is the most that I have hair on my face.
Yeah.
It's also
yeah, when you were in Penang,
sorry?
when you came to Penang, tell us what Penang food did you eat? What did you like about Penang, food-wise?
Okay. Penang, honestly speaking, for me, the number one food has always been nasi kandar. So nasi kandar is what I would hunt for because there's so many options, and it's authentic as opposed to here in Selangor where I'm staying, inshallah. You'll be lucky to get anything that closely resembles Penang nasi kandar. You can find some in Kuala Lumpur, but I guess Penang is still the number one. And then, of course, in Penang, other than nasi kandar, I got to try the ice tingkap sarbat, and also the morning for breakfast, the telur on the roti, telur goyang, they call it.
I don't know. I call it telur paramasak.
But that one, do you have it on the bread?
Yes.
So, boy, I mean, when you talk about food, it's Ramadan and it's fasting.
Oh my God, sorry. That was, yeah.
I'm already celebrating, but
my bad.
I really look forward to coming back and seeing you and seeing other friends in Penang and catching up on the food.
That's kind of like the standard interview question that people will ask about Penang. Oh, so what about being my bad. New in the Fuji world, they have this X-T4, which is pretty good.
Video. Yeah.
But I haven't had the chance to use it because studio is close to MTO. Right. So it's like, well, okay, just like put on my table, look at it every day.
Right.
What's new in the Sony world? Is it still the RX100V? Is that the latest one?
Because when I came to Penang, Sony had loaned me a compact camera. It was released for a couple of months, and there was the RX100 Mark 7. So
Mark 7.
In the lineup for compact cameras, RX100 Mark 7 is the latest and greatest. The
Mark
RX
10. I was thinking V11V. No, it's Mark 7. Okay.
Mark 7, yeah. The interesting thing is that the RX 100 Mark 7 in the compact form. I have the earlier model, my own personal one. It's Mark 3. It's
identical.
It's identical, but of course the engine and stuff inside changes and the features lah. But interestingly enough, for Sony, for those who doesn't know it, they share the same sensor for an RX10, which is the bridge camera. It's a 1-inch sensor.
1-inch sensor.
And that one, the latest model is the Mark III. Everybody's waiting for the Mark IV, which they think is probably going to be like the RX100 Mark VII, which is also called the mini A9. And in the world of the full frame, the latest model that has been released is the 61 megapixel A7R Mark IV. And just a couple of months before that, in line with the Tokyo Olympics, which has now been postponed, the A9 Mark II. So in the full frame, those are the two latest. And of course, in the crop sensor, the APS-C, the latest is the A600. So those are the current lineup. There is a full frame bridge camera, which is known as the RX1R. Currently, it's still a Mark II. And that has
I was gonna buy the RX5 Mark II. I said to myself, if the new XT4 doesn't have a selfie screen, then I'm just gonna buy the RX100 V, because XT3 is okay, but the low light performance I got a bit worried about. But actually, the low light performance of the 1-inch sensor is not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Really decent.
Yeah.
And I tried the 6600 as well, the Sony A6600.
Yeah.
At that day, when I went there to try the 1-inch sensor camera, they actually ran out. They were like, "Oh, sorry, man, they all loaned out. You have to wait a few minutes. Why don't you use this?" And just point at the 6600.
Oh,
I didn't even know it's a new camera. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Take it around. Oh, this battery is fairly big. Okay, I start using it and do an ISO test. I see on my YouTube, whoa, so many views. Is this camera new? I go Google search. Oh, it's new camera. I didn't know that. They didn't like push it hard enough.
So you got to try it out. Huh? Yeah, that's nice. The 6600 is also a very good camera. A lot of people use it for vlogging actually.
It's basically the Sony version of the Fuji X-T3 or X-T series.
Right.
But without weather sealing. No weather sealing, right?
My knowledge of Fuji is quite ancient. Because the last time I had a Fuji, my personal one, was the X100S. And I love it a lot, but I sold it since. And I never had a chance to try a mirrorless interchangeable lens type. And of course, seeing the XT4, I still have a penchant for Fuji, especially the film simulation. What was the film simulation on XT4? Is it the same as the X Pro 3?
I like the idea that the film simulation, because Fuji makes the actual film last time, so they make the same kind of effect. But if you shoot RAW, it doesn't really matter. There's no difference. So I currently shoot RAW and JPEG as well, just in case the client says, "Oh, can I have the photo before you go home?" I'm like, So I do JPEG as well. Okay. You can play with the simulations. I guess it's for those people who go shooting on the go without using a computer, because it's like, compared to putting an Instagram filter, it's much better lah.
Right.
But other than that, I consider it as a novelty function. My first camera was the Sony. Okay, so back in the day, my mom was like, I want to digitize some documents. Buy a camera. So it was the Sony Macavia, the square one. Do you remember seeing those? It's a VGA 10 times.
Oh right,
put floppy disk inside.
It's got a floppy disk inside.
Yeah, but unfortunately for her, the photos were nice, right? It's just that the resolution VGA was not enough to take A4 document. So she's like, "Okay, you have it." I'm like, "Hey."
Do you still have it?
I have it somewhere. You know my main complaint about that? The main complaint is the same complaint as past 20 years. No dual slot. Because you put one floppy disk and give to your friend, then you have no copy yourself.
Right.
So if they have dual slot, imagine that you take photos, just give out floppy disk. Because they're cheap, right? Like 10, 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit for the one disk.
Right. Wow,
it was like the film look, because a film is like 24 photos, right? And those floppy disks could hold 20 photos. So it's like Jun digital photo integration. It's just VGA was a bit small then.
Right. It's awesome, man.
And then my next camera, which actually still works because it uses AAA batteries instead of lithium. The AAA battery. It's the Sony 2 megapixel DSC U20.
All right.
If you remember that, it's got a sliding thing.
All right, the longish thingy, right?
Yeah, that's actually quite an interesting camera.
Unique,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like you can't play around with the lens and everything, but for a point and shoot, it's pretty good. I took it to prom night. That was good.
Right.
I asked Facebook to see anyone wants any information,
Okay.
and someone said that if you're speaking to the Sony guy, ask him how he feels about the next FE lenses. What's an FE lens?
FE, the terminology for full frame.
Okay. So
Because
what's the latest thingy going on?
the latest, there's a couple of lenses which has come out. It's a full frame, but it is not a G Master, which is the flagship lens. The G Master has an orange.
The Mahal one, lah.
Yeah, the Mahal has an orange color to the G. But the latest and greatest right now, the hottest, is actually an ultra wide, a 20mm f1.8.
Is that ultra wide? Oh, because full frame. That's what, like 12mm on APS-C?
When I was attending a Sony, they call it Alpha workshop it was in Penang too, I think.
Oh, I love Sony workshop. The food there is always damn nice.
It was held for 2 days. So they had the release and loaner units for the 24mm 1.4. That was the G Master.
1.4 on full frame.
Yeah, that was awesome. And, other than that, the other FE lens which has come out, I haven't gotten a chance to try it. Is the 135 1.8 G Master. So these are the two new. The 20 is not a G Master. The 135 is a G Master, and that's brilliant lens lah. I wouldn't be able to sort of it's kind of like you won't be using it like an everyday lens.
Why can't you use it every day?
135, it's still it's
too long.
It's an in between lens. So the 1.8, that's brilliant. In fact, I'm hankering for one, but we'll see how. Because the price for the 21.8 is obviously much lower than the 1.8. So I hope that answers the FE. I don't have because I'm not officially Sony. We are just representing Sony, and so I can't talk about the lenses that will come out. But I can talk about those that has been released.
It's still good. It's still more Sony than our LVB. One more thing. This thing about, I don't know, Fuji for me lah. I mean, the eye autofocus for Fuji has always been like, meh. But I think it's much more improved in X-T4. But Sony has been doing eye autofocus for a long time. Tell me, where is eye autofocus useful? Because usually you have like a focus square, one dot there, right? But eye autofocus means that you can move all around the frame without moving the joystick. Is that right?
Yeah, you will track your eye. When it first launched in 2010, I had a camera.
2010! Oh my God, Fuji is so far behind.
There was a camera called the Sony NEX series.
Oh, those are nice.
So the NEX series, I bought the NEX 5. So you had to sort of depress like a button to activate the IAF. Today, when you set the feature on, especially when you shoot video, if you're shooting video, right? The IAF, eye autofocus, in its latest version, the algorithm is so good that even if you use your spectacles like this, it will also track. If you go down and bring it up, it will still lock onto your eye. You cover it and release it, it will cover. So the IAF is superior in its latest version.
Because for the X-T2, my old camera, the IAF it will focus on here, the two dots for the eye, just it's everywhere except my face. People in the background. How does the face lock on work? I mean, do you take a selfie and then lock on the face, or?
No, because in the menu system, you can either use face detection, so you have a square or grid around the face, without necessarily activating the IAF.
So it's like face priority, is it? You lock onto your face, the owner's face.
Though the feature is available and it is in the feature list, not many people that I know has used it. But technically, if I was in a wedding, shoot, if I register you, let's say, and your missus, and that became a priority. The face detection, let's say if I'm supposed to be following you, the face detection will only lock into your face. It will not lock into anybody's face.
Perfect lah, because the crowd has so many people, right?
Yes. So
it's
that
like using IEF for events is like what's going on? There's eyes everywhere.
Yeah, so that's the face detection feature that is called registered. So you can register it in the system. Now back to the IEF, the latest version is called the real-time IEF, and it's got even a IEF for animals. Right now, it's I think dogs, cats. I think
so it's either animals or human, not both lah.
Yeah, you have to set it for human or animal in the current release, the current version.
Oh, for animals. That's interesting. Do they have the face recognition for animals, or the all cats look the same, or all the dogs and cats are the same face one?
No, only the eyes. Yeah. And interestingly enough, do you know the reason why I actually bought the Sony? You know, when it first came out, or it was
Sony is good.
No, it was a recommendation by my friend who's technically a PhD. He's a doctor, but I always revere his recommendations. So that time I was using a Canon DSLR. So he would say,
most people type Canon. Canon's a gateway.
So he was telling me like, brother, you should check out this Sony, and it's got this feature called IAF. So for me, I shot mainly portraits, model, studio lighting, and for the life of me, I always have to do the log, recompose, and sometimes
okay, I get it.
You miss the focal plane, right? So sometimes you do the slight shift forward. So anyway, I've always hated that, So when the IF feature came out in its first version, it's good, but it is still quite difficult because of the thumb negotiating of the thumb shift to press the button to activate it, right? But today, as it is, wow, you can just recompose any way you want. Like even now, if I'm looking at the laptop camera, right, it will just lock into the eye, and it's fantastic.
And that works with AFS also, like single shot autofocus.
Yes.
Or only AFC?
No, it works on AFC. It will actually move around, but even AFS, it will lock. Yeah.
I find out for AFS, we have faster shooting, or AFC is like slower a bit.
AFC is that if your subject intends to move around and you just want to track him, but if
like
the subject is staying still like now,
anak walking around.
Yeah, but if you stay still like this, you can do AFS. You just lock onto the eye. Yeah. So it works on both modes as well.
That's good. Oh, tell me, what's your social media? What do you want to show? Like Instagram or your Facebook page, or what do you prefer?
The next, I actually have something on my folder on my Mac.
Normally you use Instagram or Facebook?
I use Facebook actually.
Okay, so I'll do a screen share. I'll show your, where is it? Screen 2. This one. Can see, right?
Okay, yeah.
So this is Asman Kawir's Facebook page.
Yeah.
Give a like. Wait. Hey! Oh my God! I just liked it now. No, I think I liked it on the other account also.
That's a photography one which I don't update actually. I'm guilty of actually.
Which one do you update then? I clicked the wrong one. Which one do you do?
Asman Karib Ibrahim.
How do I spell this? This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll cut the other part out. Okay, so this is Asman Karib's Facebook. Yeah. Go and click follow or subscribe or something.
Subscribe, yeah. Because
why is it Thai words? Do you speak Thai?
Which one?
Do you speak Thai language?
No, I don't. It's just that somebody shared a video of how the new lifestyle of people going even to shopping malls once there's post COVID-19.
Oh, we can go shopping now. Oh, fantastic! I love shopping.
How they simulate you. See what they do. Check your temperature. Sanitize. This is the new lifestyle of going to the mall.
Is it happening right now? I heard someone said that next week I can open my studio, but I must have a book. I must write down the name and phone number and IC and take the temperature scan. Is that the same in KL or?
Yeah. It's I went to 7-Eleven. They have the same thing. I went to hardware store. They had a book to write in your name, phone number, IC.
I hope they do training properly, because I went to a shop. Okay, I won't say which shop. They scan me, 26 degrees. He went down 26. I'm like, no, scan again. 26 degrees, come on.
Yeah, how can it be?
And this is Malaysia. I know most Asians, right? They're in their O level, the SPM, PMR, they're all straight A student one. So I'm sure he got like an A in his biology, but then after school, the information gone already.
Yeah. You probably didn't realize that, 26 means this guy must be a vampire or something.
A fish or something. Maybe he's like a bit sleepy, 26 degrees, I'm like, oh, am I dead? Scan again.
Something is wrong, yeah.
Yeah, so this is Azman Kawib's Facebook. Go send him likes and friend requests.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to this. How do I stop the screen share?
Sorry?
How do I stop the screen share? Or stop share? Okay, I got it. We're back. Hey. Are you back?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so go and support Azman's Facebook page. So this photo or photos you said, where are you gonna upload them? To your Facebook page, right, or something?
Which one?
You said you had a photo in your.
Yeah. I was on another friend's session like now we're having. It's called Photo Jam channel. It's hosted by Weitat. So I had prepared one folder where I can actually share my screen and show some photos from there.
Nice. Do you want to show photos now?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, how do I allow this?
I don't know. I can share mine. So that means
okay, go on then. So now we have a screen show from Azman Karib Photography.
Okay, so now you can technically.
What happened to your Adobe? You need to update something, is it? Your Lightroom or Photoshop?
Update. Okay, I've got a few things here, and let me show you myself in 2014 to start with, lah.
A long time ago.
Sorry, my self-portrait. Okay.
Oh yeah, you come a long way.
Yeah, so this is my self-portrait looking like a Yakuza guy. But in actual fact, my mouth was still full of blood, actually. I was discharged. 2014, I had an allergy to some medication which a clinic doctor gave.
Oh, shit.
It resulted in near fatal. I was in ICU.
Oh, did you test first or what?
For almost 2 months. I was about a week plus in the
What's the medication called?
Allopurinol.
That sounds complicated.
And I got a what they call is Steven Johnson syndrome, SJS. Shit. So if you Google it up, it's pretty horrible.
Cause from the medication, is it?
Medication, and you could actually die from it.
Because of the medication, lah.
Yeah. So this was in October, and I was still bleeding. Anyway, I had the hospital bill was already very high, and so it took me nearly a year over to fully recover. So health-wise, I'm not really fully, my immune system was gone. So
you look good now.
Look good, but I actually a lot of ailments lah.
Oh shit.
Okay, so that's me in post. Sorry, that was me when I got sick lah. This is me prior to that, and you see me a lot in this profile photo taken by a very renowned portrait photographer, Amri Ginang.
But this is 2014, is it?
No. This Amri Ginang was I think 2013.
You haven't aged, man. It's been like 8 years. You look the same.
Not really.
The hairstyle different lah. You cut completely MCL hair.
But thanks. Yes, good. So that's kind of my self-portrait.
Is that with the Sony or?
The portrait, yeah. There was no, that one actually. To be honest, I still had my Canon with me, and actually shot that self-portrait with the Canon.
Time for a new Sony portrait.
Yeah, I could, but I just didn't. I mean, it was just I grabbed the nearest camera that I had in my room. Okay, my claim to fame, and I don't know whether
claim to fame. This should be very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because my photos in street photography are not the usual what you normally see, because I think you might have seen some on international pages or whatnot, but mine actually is a curator from the US one time, named Upref, who came to Malaysia, and I had another friend who looked at my photos. They categorize it as fine art, black and white, and it has been actually bought by art collector. So let me show you my claim to fame.
I want to ask you, when you sell a photo to art collector, do you sell the raw as well, or you just sell a copy?
No, I just sell the print.
The print lah. So the print, do they have a digital file as well, or?
No, just the print itself. I have it printed. So this one.
Wow. This is Malaysia. This is KL station, right?
This is the KL station. Yeah, the man at the platform. So this was bought by some art collectors, but interestingly enough, this was taken about 6 a.m. in the morning. Hardly edited it. I mean, just to make sure the contrast comes out.
6 a.m. Wow. Were you taking a bus somewhere? Or?
I was going to take the ETS to Ipoh actually.
Or the train, yeah.
But this is taken in the 16:9 format using the A7, my first A7 full frame. So it was 2013. And if you look at the photo, right, the man, I was demonstrating to another friend who was going to Ipoh with me. So I only got, I think, about a single or two shots at most, I think. I can't recall, but definitely, it was, you can say a lucky shot, but the man was staying right smack center. If you look at the column in front of him.
Yeah, perfect.
So
all the composition, lines, everything.
The composition would have run, had he been even off by a couple centimeters. But this is what you call, as what Mark Yamashita, also a National Geographic photographer who shoots with Sony, calls it mastering chances. Okay,
I think the A7 series was a bit crazy last time when it first started. First, like A7 came out, everyone go and buy it. Then A7R come out, everyone like, oh, new camera, okay, everyone go buy it. Then A7S, oh, A7R Mark II, oh, there's like 6 cameras in 1.5 years, right? Only maybe 6 cameras. People like, oh, do I sell my camera? Do I buy my used camera?
Right.
Sorry, yeah, I have the A7R and A7S. R is more megapixels, S is less megapixels.
R is for the resolution.
But the S is less resolution.
Yeah.
Low light.
S is for low light. It's for sensitivity. So if you remember the R, just for me, and I think Sony has used it, R for resolution, S for sensitivity, and no, just A7, that's it, right? Mark III, Mark IV hasn't come out yet. But that's the all-rounder lah.
So let's say for wedding, shooting a wedding, would you say shooting a wedding, you use the R better or the S better? Because they're similar price, right?
Believe it or not, but when I bought the A7R III, when it already came out, then only they released the A7 Mark III. Okay, so the R3 came out first, then only Mark III. But the Mark III has a special sensitivity somehow that it shoots or performs better in low light than the R3.
I mean, compared to the S lah, A7S.
Oh no, S is lower megapixels, but from a video standpoint, from a really low light, you could shoot, but although it's only 12 megapixel, right? But
it's enough lah.
But it's enough. But that is you shoot in really low light. But what I'm saying in standard low light, between the R3 and the Mark III performs much better.
So for shooting wedding photography, A7S and the A7R, A7
no,
III.
The A7 III is the...
And the S3, which do you recommend?
Right now, the S is S Mark II.
Oh, okay. So only one choice lah.
Yeah,
A7 III.
But you will shoot the Mark III because that is the all-rounder in terms of the megapixel count, in terms of the
They made a really good camera. I saw so many reviews for that one.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it because it's too expensive, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think all the Sony full frame cameras are in the five.
A bit lah. Oh, what's this?
This one you can imagine is a low light. Now this is taken around 7 p.m.
What is it? I can't. Is it a shop? Is this Penang?
No, this is in Perak, in town called Papan. Oh, your screen is far away from you, huh?
Huh?
Your screen, is it far away from you?
No, but my webcam is blocking half the screen.
Oh, okay. It's actually is a lady in a sundry shop in Papan, a town near Ipoh lah. Taken about
Is she
7.
is she okay? Because normally I see black and white for like obituary.
Oh no, I don't know what you know. I don't know how she is today, but she was about to close the sundry shop. But this is really got really rich color, and you can see like the contrast or figure to ground lighting heading towards her.
It's black and white, right?
Black and white. These are all my black and white.
Because you mentioned color, I'm like, so I don't see any color. Nothing wrong with my computer.
No, color because originally it was in color. Yeah. This is another of my black and white. Okay, now interesting enough, I bought the 85 1.4 GM and I went to Selangor, the Indigenous Arts Festival.
There's so much.
I shot a portrait of this
creamy bouquet.
This was 85 1.4 and I shot, converted to black and white of this lady in, having her rokok daun.
What's that?
Cigarette with tobacco in a leaf. So
she looks very happy and very relaxed. I'm not so sure it's tobacco. You sure tobacco or she's smoking? It looked like she's very relaxed one. Later she got the food.
Yeah.
Or train.
This one is
open to the windows, all's broken.
This is a boy running to catch the train to his school actually. He was heading towards Dabong in Kelantan. I was part of
it's a working train. Why are all the windows broken and everything?
You see? So that's the thing. It's all broken. Sad lah, because the trains take a lot of abuse. People throw stones at it.
Seriously,
like
throw stones.
Yeah.
Or maybe in KL, I don't know. In Penang, there's no trains. That's why.
Yeah. Let me see.
That's so dangerous, throwing stones at trains.
This one, remember the train, the one you showed just now, the one at the platform. When I arrived in Ipoh, I was at a place called Concubine Alley.
Oh, that place is good. All the makai and the tourist things.
And I shot this nyonya, this lady at the coffee shop. So it's quite a poignant photo. This is my style of street black and white fine art photography.
This is really something
they
different.
revolve around a central subject or a singular subject.
This kind of photo, you asked her permission first or after you take photo? Take first, then you ask.
This was a random shot which I took with my 35 using the A7 35 2.8. I was crouching actually. So this one no permission, but I shot her while I was at the street, and she was I was actually crouching. She was kind of higher than me.
I see. So I mean, for the year 2020, when we're talking about street photography, it's better to take photo first, then ask permission, or how does it normally work?
Okay. Normally, if it's going to be a spontaneous juxtaposition shot, something that you want to be creative with color contrast, you want to play around with humor, it is done spontaneously, meaning that you have to make sure that you have to frame it correctly and take the necessary number of exposures or repeat if necessary. Let's say, example, I was demonstrating at one workshop a blue hoarding, and one gentleman, I think I have the photo here somewhere, I'll show you afterwards. So I was waiting for a subject to enter the blue hoarding. Had it been somebody wearing a blue shirt, and I said to myself, nah, I want something more contrasty, I would actually wait for another subject to come in and reshoot. So that's one method of actually street photography, where you actually wait for a subject to come into your frame or your composition. And then when people talk about juxtaposition and spontaneity, that requires a lot of ability for you to think fast and look at things fast. But the permission part, this one is an example of one. I actually spoken to this uncle at one workshop where he was a model actually, and I told him about my life story and stuff like that. And I got him to listen to my story and feel the way how he would express what I told him. And it's a very significant shot. There's a long story to this, but suffice to say that this was one of those where I had engaged in the subject to get this particular portrait.
Because this looks like you talked to him before, because it has to be like very, very coincident shot while you're looking into the camera.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So generally, if you are going to take a portrait, generally speaking, you could still get away frontal portrait, but those are just what I call spontaneous. If you use a wide angle lens, generally the people passing you or coming into you won't even know that you are taking. But if you're taking with a 75, 85 millimeter, you're taking even with 50 to a certain extent, your eyes raised to the viewfinder will give away. And a person would actually, might come to you and say, are you taking a photo of me? But generally, if you're taking ultra wides, you can still get away with pretending to shoot somewhere else, and actually the person's had already been taken,
From my personal experience, it's the people at tourist locations like the Concubine Street or Jonker Street or Armenian Street in Penang, the people at the tourist location are more open to street photography, where compared to you go to Gurney Plaza or Paragon Mall and you do street photography in the mall, people are like, why are you taking my photo? It's like tourist attraction is like more okay.
This one is an orang asli girl in Cemor. No, not in Cemor, in Gopeng. Interestingly enough, she was playing with her sister and she was looking out the veranda. And I shot this from far. But it was using, I believe it was my 55, but cropped. So you get something like a 85 millimeter. But there's a lot of detail to this, and I was using the A7R Mark II. So
you crop for detail. Lots of megapixels to crop from.
Generally speaking, for me, I have the R2 and the R3. I bought R2 first. I haven't sold it yet. But I go for higher megapixel because there are situations where I'm comfortable with cropping. And cropping, for example, like the latest A7R Mark IV, right? 61 megapixel.
Oh.
If you crop it, or APS-C mode, you actually get around 24 megapixels.
So good Facebook, you need 2 megapixels, so no problem.
So, you can get a lot out of that. Let me see whether there are any more interesting black and whites. You've seen that. Seen this. Oh, I've seen that too.
There's a picture of a bicycle wheel in your Facebook page. What's the story behind a bicycle wheel? Are you like a cyclist or?
Okay, I used to cycle in the mid-90s, and I was one of those who love cycling a lot. I have a nickname in front. For those who know me from the cycling community, in fact, there's a group in Penang, for information. They are known as the Knights of the Round Table, and they used to have a Penang, a very rigorous, tough ride called what do you call it? The Kayu Lasak. So they used to have it every year, and Majlis Perbandaran Port Penang would support them and all that. They have stopped it, and the group is known as Knights of the Round Table. So amongst the community, they call me a techno man.
I see.
So the bike wheel you saw, which I found because my wife was running through the storeroom and looking at stuff.
Old stuff.
Old stuff. That wheel you saw is known as the Mavic Ceramic Crossmax wheel, 26-inch. And you use V brakes with it, not disc brakes. So you just use a V brake, which goes like that. And that, again, my friend who saw it said that wheel is probably 19 years old. So, so you imagine, how old are you now?
Me? I don't know, but I'm born in 1985. My math's not so good. I'm only half Asian.
Okay, but assuming that you are 35 and you minus 20 years off, you're 15 years old when I had that wheel.
That's when I got my first Sony camera.
Sorry?
My first Sony camera when I was around 15 with the floppy disk.
Okay. So that was it. So I've been mountain biking, but I've stopped mountain biking. Let me show you some photos which...
I used to have a mountain bike as well last time growing up, but the
Ah.
furthest I ever cycled was from my house to WH Smith to buy some sandwiches. I never went further than that. It's probably like 1 km.
Are you still cycling now?
No, it's too hot in Malaysia. I can't cycle in Malaysia. Even if I cycle like a little bit, it's like covered in sweat.
This
Ooh,
one,
what's this? It's like Penang.
This is a color photo. This is in KL at the old cafe, old Market Square Cafe, near the Lebo Pasar, where Citibank, Hong Kong, Shanghai Bank is. There was this man, you know, putting up the flag. But this photo, the reason why I put it out here, because it garnered a lot of emotion from people. And a gentleman actually wrote a poem about it. And you can see
why is he putting a flag from inside his window? You should go outside.
Don't know why, but that was how it was done anyway, because he was from the inside, you know, fixing it. So somebody actually wrote a poem about this. You know, they felt strongly about what the representation of the flag, the grill, and so on. So I had some of my photos where people actually wrote poems about it.
That's the Malaysian flag.
Yeah.
I saw in Wikipedia someone said that it has 15 stripes because there's 15 states in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Don't know if you saw that broadcast.
Yeah. This one I shot in Kuala Kangsar. And if people who go to Kuala Kangsar and they frequent a pau shop would actually remember this and know this as a Yut Loy, famous pau shop. But I was very fortunate during one occasion when I was there that I saw this gentleman and I actually kind of like followed him, and there was a sequence of shots. And lo and behold, somebody saw this, and this was actually a photo of the late owner of the shop, of the pau shop. He's since passed away. But I was commissioned by the person who saw this and put up a montage of 9 grid, 9 photos into a grid. And he bought one and he presented to the family of the late owner, this guy. So it's a very interesting shot, because street photography, the reason I shared this because you never know what the photo means to somebody, and it becomes a significance to someone. So don't knock it. In other words, if you have a camera, it's with you. When you go anywhere, it goes with me anywhere, and you take a shot, you will know the significance and what it meant. So this was actually purchased as a special set.
Can you put up your favorite photo from this album? I want to take a screenshot, like a photo of our session.
Oh, okay. Favorite would be the man on the platform.
Open again.
Yeah.
Okay. Smile in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yep. Nice. So
I shoot in color as well. Let me just to show you that otherwise you'd be thinking I only shoot in black and white. But this was taken at a friend's son's birthday party. But it was a pool party. So I shot the moments of the pool party, and I was waiting for the water to come down, because they had this thing where the water goes down, splash everybody. I was waiting for that moment. But I love this a lot.
It was the A7R.
This was, if I'm not mistaken, I still had the A6000 then, before I sold it.
Oh, no weather sealing. You bring your camera to the swimming pool, no weather sealing. Oh,
no, this was I was taking with the telly.
Very brave, man. Later the kids are, hey.
Taking with the telly.
Okay, so your most recommended lens. Can you recommend me a lens for full frame and a lens for crop sensor for doing street photography? The focal length lah.
Okay. There's various schools of thought.
Your personal favorite lah. One lens for full frame, one length for full frame, and one length for APS-C.
Okay, before I answer that, I will have to give you some background first as to what the impact is. Because street photography it's kind of personal. So unless you engage consciously with the subject, or you really want to be a person who engages with the subject, you might have to, as you said, you asked me, do I engage? Yes, I do. I have some others as well where I talk to the person and take it, or you take a candid shot. If you ask me, for the resolution, you actually go with prime lenses. And my favorite, honestly speaking, for street, where I can double up between portrait and as well as what I call normal street, is actually my very well and abused 55mm FE Carl Zeiss. Is actually Zeiss, Sony Zeiss FE 1.8. That's my favorite.
55mm.
55.
So if we want to cut costs, we can use a nifty 50 lah, cut costs.
They have a 50,
same, almost.
but they're 1.4. It costs more than that, I think. So that's one for general purpose lah. The other one where, like I said,
the crop sensor one.
If you feel not actually crop, but if you feel that you are afraid of coming closer, so you use an ultra wide, so you can actually be standing far and you still get lots of people in the frame. It's actually believe it or not, but I have a ultra wide zoom, which is a 12 to 24 f4 Sony, which is not a GM lens, because I didn't buy the 24 1.4 or the 20 1.8, which is just introduced. 12 to 24, so that gives you the ability to really take it on a wide angle. So that's my two favorite for full frame.
My first two lenses was of course the Canon crop lens. I mean the kit lens lah. Then the guy in the shop said you got to buy the 40mm, the f2.8 lah. The
pancake
lens.
That's the pancake lens.
Yeah. So I left my bigger lens at home. I carry the pancake lens everywhere. I used it for like 2 weeks, no problem. Then my friend went to Redbox, called me over, asked me to take photo. And you know the Redbox karaoke, right? The room is not very big. So I couldn't take any photos because the room is too small.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. I never realized that a lens could be too long for a room.
Yes.
After that, I was like, oh, okay, I think maybe I need to buy more than one lens. A lot of photographers, they imagine that, okay, this is my camera, my first camera. I will only have one camera. I will only buy one lens. I will never buy any more lens. So I was like, okay, I got my kit lens and I got my pancake lens. That's it. No more lenses. After that, I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually, why I cannot take a photo? It's like too zoom in. Then I realized, oh no. Then I buy 24mm. Then more and more lenses come out.
Right. And for the crop, I already sold my A6000 series, but I still have the lens though. And it's actually
you can't use it right on your full frame.
You can. There will be some vignetting, but you can still mount because it's an E-mount. Although it's
Canon you can mount, but you risk to break your mirror box.
You can mount. There'll be
okay.
Vignette. So to be honest, my favorite, which I still have, the crop sensor lens is 18105.
Do you think the vignette is it very bad, or could it be like a new trend when they use it like the crop lens on the full frame body?
I've tried it. It depends on what aperture you use. So that will bring the amount of how heavy the vignette. But to a certain point, if you crop the photo, which some people do, you can actually get the photo clean without the vignette using what I call a APS-C or crop sensor lens onto a full frame Sony. That means you can use those lenses.
So for Sony, you can use both lah.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And historically, an ultra wide known as the 24 1.8.
The famous one lah.
Yeah, the famous one now. That's a full frame, but there is a 24mm on the crop, and that is also sorry, not a prime. What they call a 10 to 18. It's actually a tele ultra wide 10 to 18 But that is a very popular lens which some people adopted for the full frame Sony. You know, when the A7 came out, people were asking for ultra wide. There wasn't an ultra wide then at that time. So you actually buy a crop sensor lens, mount it onto the A7 to get an ultra wide lens. So some people have actually done that, and
DIY tips
for
and
the
tricks.
10 to 18, yeah, and it's a pretty nice lens.
Oh, that's good. All right, Azman, thank you for your time. This is very, very good information.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, everyone, stay safe.
Okay, you too, man.
Okay.